Well, good morning. Wednesday morning. Welcome back along the Causeway coast, and I'm up recording a little vlog at Port Moon Bothy. First couple of days done in the old day job. It's not too bad. But again, on my day off, making the most of whatever conditions are thrown at us. And actually it looked like this morning was going to be something of interest, but we've had a bit of a bank of clouds move into the east, which at the moment is blocking sunrise. It's not too thick though, so hopefully within 15-20 minutes post sunrise we might get a little bit of light. But just using this morning, I've just been explaining on the vlog, I'm just using this morning as a bit of a recon mission, which may sound strange for someone who lives not less than 10 miles away from here, but I haven't actually been up this far in probably about 6-7 months, so I like to just familiarize myself with it. So I'm just going to use this morning as a little bit of a recon exercise. But it's great to be out, sort of bird call, the dawn chorus, sort of away out before 5 o'clock to get here. Yeah, good stuff. Oh, beautiful. The sun has now risen and we are getting some lovely light cast into the Port Moon Bothy area. I'm actually just firing off a little shot with a 10-stop filter. Get a little bit of movement in those waves. And I think I spoke about this in a previous vlog, the whole no expectations, no pressure. And again, it's just lovely to be out along the Causeway coast and just enjoying this. Quite chilly though, quite chilly. Got the old gloves on. Maybe spot not the Valorec gloves, which would be even colder than these ones. So just going to have a little bit of play with a couple of different compositions and see what we come up with. Well, good morning. Back out very local. Trying to get used to the whole fact that I'm working later today, so stay local. But there was a chance of broken cloud, and that's exactly what we've got. And in fact, try not to knock over my tripod. Hang on a minute. Just above me here, there's a lovely bit of broken, sort of curly textured cloud that might take on a little bit of light. So I was back around to my old friend Mr. Grumpy, and in fact in last week's Moments you saw me kind of over here somewhere, and I might go down there again if we're going to get any light. But I'm just looking on the horizon right now, and there's not really a huge amount of gap on the clouds there, and in fact it almost seems to be closing in a little bit. And through experience I would say that by now, because we have such lovely textured clouds, if there was going to be a gap, I think I would have seen some colour in there, but it's not to say that it won't come. So what I might do, I might hedge my bets, and maybe the direction I was shooting has some reasonably nice clouds. It's also got some sort of thicker bands, but over here pointing actually into where the sun is roughly rising, I think that is maybe where I should maybe focus on. So it's trying to get something in. When I see clouds like this, trying to maybe get something in the foreground that kind of mimics that, maybe give a little bit of symmetry to the scene. Who knows? Anyway, the gulls have shut up now. When I first arrived, there was about 100 gulls, well, all set off by one. There's always one. They were all the rest of them were just like, I'm flying about, I'm a gull. And then this one was, I'm a gull, but I'm an angry gull. And then before you knew it, all the gulls were going, yes, we're all angry. But they've all cleared off now. So anyway, here endeth the gull lesson. Back to photography. So changing tact a little bit. The clouds facing towards sunrise, still rather nice and textured, but I get the feeling that we're not going to see any sort of direct sun coming in there for a good 10-15 minutes after sunrise. Again, could be wrong, it has been known. So instead I'm looking for a composition pointing away from the sun, because there seems to be even more sort of maybe a weather system out there, and again sort of light, sort of front lit foreground maybe, with some moody clouds in the background. Always quite nice. So back to the little scene that I photographed last week with a long exposure, seeing whether I can make something work here. Now again, the angle of the sun should give us some nice light down into that, or failing that, my throat's all like I should go into a TV advertisement with this, all because the lady loves milk tray. Lovely textured clouds out here. So I think initially what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot out the peninsula and maybe see whether we can get some colour in these clouds up here. So let's see what we can do. Some call it frustrating, but this is the moment that I really like. So sun has risen about 20 minutes ago and is clearly lots of cloud, but there are little gaps, and all we need, oh, there's a nice curvature going on up here, the texture up here. All we need is just a little gap. So that's why I'm not running around looking for other compositions at the moment. I'm going to hold fire here. The composition that I've got set up is mostly taking advantage of the rocks sort of on the left hand side, because of course they're the ones that if we do get any light coming through that will kind of shine. Now just as I'm talking to you, the light just seems to have dropped just a touch, and I think that means that those gaps that were giving us some potential are slowly closing in. Oh, there is a little bit of movement in the cloud, so I guess an alternative could be putting on a 10 stop and maybe taking advantage of some of the texture in those clouds, but we'll hold out faith. But this is what I love, that dance with Mother Nature. Will she, won't she? So that was a no-go. Mother Nature taunted us and teased us and then closed up shop, and the light has really kind of left us now. Still reasonably moody, but any kind of morning glow has left us, but that's okay. That's what keeps us coming back for more. Well, I'm going to go back, go for a quick run, grab a coffee, and then go do that work thing. I'm glad that I'm starting this new job as the mornings start to stretch out, because it's nice to get out and do a little bit of photography. Right, I'm sure we'll catch up later in the week. Friday morning, and is it just me, or have weather predictions stroke guesses been getting slightly less accurate? Now you always take the weather forecast, especially anything more than 24 hours I normally take with an extreme pinch of salt, but especially within 12 hours, and certainly within a couple of hours, I'm normally thinking to myself, okay, it's going to be one or the other. And this morning we had a weather system moving through, which should have potentially cleared by about 5 a.m. Now, I know these things depending on the prevailing winds and XYZ, but, well, as you can probably hear and as you can see, something tells me unless things dramatically improve in the next 30 minutes, ain't happening. Which is fine. I'm very local. I can just drive back home again. So, and I guess that's the thing. I would rather be out and be disappointed than be in and be disappointed that I wasn't out. So, and I have Football Manager on the iPhone, so I can just sit and play some of that. Maybe all the really good weather forecasters are still on furlough. Maybe that's it. Anyway, what do you reckon the chances are? My normal, all you need is a wee gap. All you need is a big umbrella. Alright, so the worst of that weather has passed, but it's left a very kind of day. But we'll get outside, we'll get a little bit of fresh air, and we'll see what we can see. Excuse the crazy headgear. My ears were cold. So that weather system has moved through, and it's all about those prevailing winds. I really shouldn't come down too hard on the old weather forecasters. They have got it right, just an hour out, which I guess is completely fine. So that weather system has moved through. Now we're getting a little bit, as you can see, the HDR nature of this camera allows that to pick that up. We're getting a little bit of colour. Out to the west, we're obviously clear. Out to the east, not so much. Just flexing the old creative muscles. Playing about a little bit here with a portrait orientation. Got a polarizer and a 4-stop on, getting about 10 seconds. And as I've said countless times before, down here at the Herringpond there's loads of fissures and cracks and crannies that allow you to kind of play about a little bit with sort of foreground. So really just playing about. I mean, if we got a little, I'm talking about my little gap again. The texture in these clouds here. In fact, I think even without light, I think I'm going to, at the moment I don't have any of the clouds really in the scene, but I think I'm going to get a bit of a wider vista and take in some of those clouds. So let's get that over. So we're just about to get the visible sun over the clouds. In fact, it literally is peeking through, so I'm going to be very quick because I'm watching a squall out at sea. Could give us something. I don't think the sun is going to be illuminating it, but you never know. It looks interesting. Let's get back to it. Goodness me, I look like a fat Bon Jovi. Well, that's me done and dusted. And once again, proving the point that even when you think all hope is lost, just get outside. And apologies to all the weather forecasters. Yes, you guys do a hard job. And you do sometimes get it right, you do sometimes get it wrong. Today you got it right. I was just a little bit out of whack with the wind. It is blooming freezing as well. We have I don't know what's coming in, but it's cold and wet later on and probably going to snow apparently. I might have made that last bit up. But decent morning. Might have got one or two images. As always, I'll probably throw a couple from the week up at the end of the video, but I'm going home now, grab a coffee and then go out and run. And then we'll see what the day brings. My mouth really is frozen. Catch up later in the week, guys. Saturday morning, and the sun is literally just about to break over the visible horizon, and we have some really nice moisture in the air, so we could get actually some nice conditions. And just up above the waves, been trying to sort of shoot some sort of abstracty wave photography, but it's a little bit too foamy, and I've only got the 18-135 with me. I really need to bring out the 1-400, which again, thinking sort of maybe at some point coming back up here with the 1-400 and doing a bit more abstracty stuff. So there's some lovely crashing waves over Old Nessie, so maybe some lovely crepuscular rays coming off that sun there. You might not be able to see that, but whoop, whoop, whoop. Beautiful sort of pinkish glow, amber glow behind me. So probably gonna stop shooting these abstract waves and maybe get a composition set up that when that sun does break over the visible horizon, if we get a gap, maybe we'll get a little bit of illumination on the sort of rocks on the cliff face that I'm on, and maybe on Old Nessie as well. And you never know, one of those little bonus rainbows as well. Woo, big wave. Okay, that wave actually, the spray actually came up by the side of the cliff, and I'm a fair bit up here. Woo, goodness me, I went all orange there. Oh, here comes the sun. Right, time to look for a comp. Don't like that word, composition. Nothing much doing. We ended up with only a little gap about this much, and then the sun moved back through a sort of bank of clouds, so nothing much doing, but I've still been playing about a little bit with a couple of potential compositions. I think what I will do at some point is I will bring the 1-400 out and come up here, because I think there is the potential to maybe do something with the waves. But I did shoot one kind of directly into the sun, and I'm sure there was maybe some spray on the lens, and did a bit of a bracketed shot, so I'm sure I'll throw that up at the end of the vlog no matter how it came out. But I love that noise, that real raw power of the waves. Fantastic. Right, well, I'm going to wander back to the flat and grab myself a coffee. Working today, bit of a pain in the backside shift, 1 till 6, but grab a coffee, grab some breakfast, grab a run, grab more coffee, then go work. Probably catch up, I guess, tomorrow again. Well, hello. Apologies for the slightly dishevelled look. Just finished the shift at work. It's a pretty minging day outside. Didn't quite walk 5 miles at work, so I'm going to go outside and get those last couple of half a mile in. I'm trying to walk or run 5 miles a day in 2021. So far so good. But anyway, so that's my first week of shifts over, and wasn't too bad actually. Was still able to get out with the camera quite a lot, which was good, and thanks for everyone's words of encouragement in last week's vlog. Yeah, I'm starting to see the sort of the positives that hopefully can come out of this as well. So anyway, once again, I hope you've enjoyed my little moments between. Hopefully before long, with restrictions starting to ease, and even with my shift work, we will be able to stretch our wings a little bit more and start to show a little bit more of at least Ireland in these moments between. But for now, I'm off to get those last mile in or so, and we'll catch up again in next week's moments between. Take care, guys. Bye bye.